Okay, good people, No Kill Survival 3.1. It's the start of a new game. Same challenge, same vegan and pacifist challenge, which means no hits, no attacks, no strikes on any mobs, be they friendly or hostile. No killing for food, no attacking in self-defense. And start of a new game, which means we're just getting past the end of the last game, in which I once again died at the hands of a merciless baby zombie. Babies in the real world, they're okay. Babies in Minecraft, baby zombies, drowned baby zombies, they are sometimes the bane of the pacifist's existence. The spawn is nice and grassy and hilly. As we go on, you'll see there's some interesting things going on with rock walls, caves, caverns, water. There are not too many trees up on the surface. You'll see I strike it lucky or half lucky with coal here. A nice tidy vein of coal. And I say half lucky because it's tempting to spend just too much time mining the coal when really you don't need it up front. If you can get wood and enough stone to make your furnace, then you can make your own torches and such. But the temptation to have the coal, making it just straightforward and more traditional, is sometimes strong. And the danger of that is you can spend valuable daytime just down there mining away, when really in this kind of challenge, I think the main event, the main task, is to get to a place where you want to set up your base, have wood with you, have grass seeds, set things growing by water, and start to build, or at least identify where you're going to build your shelter. So for now, targeting grass. Compared to other games, the grass seeds they're pretty decent. You know, sometimes you play and you just get very, very little from trying to harvest the grass. This one I'm getting a fair amount of seeds, and I'll use that for the wheat farm. Another big tree, just hoping for an apple drop, but nothing coming. I'm not wanting to wait around. I think the task with the trees is to circle round, so mine away one, go to the next, go to the next, go to the next, and come back to where you started. That way you get to see whether there's any apples sort of likely to drop. But as I said, speed is everything, so we're not going to hang around too much. I start looking down here, thinking about what would be a good place for a base. And I've already got my eye on that water down there, because that's the one kind of obvious spot to get some seeds down, because the seeds need water to grow quickly. And I like just what's happening here, because there's a little bit of hillside just behind here, and so I'm thinking that when the nightfall comes, I'm just going to dig into that banking and then build my house from the inside out. But first, I'm just taking a little bit more time than I usually do in laying out the farm. 2 blocks wide for planting, 1 block of water in between. And sometimes when I do these challenges, I just slap the seeds down anywhere beside the water and then come back and, you know, rebuild and replan later. This time I'm hoping just to get a lasting shape and structure to the farm from the get-go. You can see that the sun is starting to go down. Just scouting around for a few more seeds, see some coal that I can get another time. But the task any minute now is going to be just to dig into that banking and then stay inside for the night. It's a nice quiet spawn, I'll say that. I'm not seeing any mobs at all, which is kind of rare. But here I go, inside, into the hill. Take that. And one of the first things I do this time is I make a little bit of fence post to put on top of that dirt block there. And it's because too often the mobs come at me and the baby zombies can just come over and through that hole. Now, you might be thinking, Dr. Dave, why didn't you just make a door? And I'll confess I did not even think of it at the time. But when I do think about it, I am aware that typically when I'm putting in doors, I like to put my doors in from the outside so that they align easily with the outer edge of the doorway to give more space on the inside of the building. So maybe my mind was thinking like that subconsciously. There is also just the fact that there's something provisional about holding up in the night time and having a window-like sort of shape there. I like it. So, starting to build inside and take this away and I find iron. And I'm thinking, wow, what a really lucky first day between the coal, the wood, the grass, the water, and iron now. Now I think like a cautious kid at Christmas, I delay in actually exploring to see how much iron is there, hoping that maybe it will be a lot. Who knows? As it turns out, there only are 2 drops, but 2 drops of iron just on a first day are fantastic. If I can make a pair of shears sometime soon, then I'll be able to go looking for sheep, get some wool, and make a bed. Okay, some of you are maybe thinking, wait a minute, Dr. Dave, you said this was a vegan challenge. How can you be planning, scheming, imagining that you're going to go out and shear some sheep and exploit them for their wool? And all I say to that is, I don't think shearing the sheep hurts the sheep. It's not the same as a hit. It's not the same as an attack. It's certainly taking something from the sheep, but in real life I've read that, and I'm not a sheep expert, I'll grant you this, but I have read that shearing sheep is healthy for the sheep. So, for the time being, until someone tells me otherwise, I am going to revel in the wonder of wool, on the understanding that I'm helping the sheep as much as I am helping myself. And it's worth remembering that the phantoms are going to come out pretty soon. And without the bed, you're really, really vulnerable. The phantoms, if you don't have any armor, the phantoms really kind of knock the stuffing out you. One thing I meant to mention earlier was that when I started recording this game, just between the setup and the survive panel, I rotated my iPad 180 degrees, and I didn't really think it through. I just thought the recording would reorient itself with the screen. And it was only later, after I'd saved the game and saved the recording and went back to check the recording, that I realised that it doesn't do that. So, just note to future self, don't turn the iPad upside down while you're recording. But here we are, my little indoor house is starting to look half weird, half homely. And I put in a door. Turns out I had enough space just to step back and get it from the outside without any fuss at all. But anyway, things are looking good.